you really cannot talk about how impressive Real Madrid is
Mm.
or how impressive they are in terms of the eras of trophies, Champions League, and
Yeah.
all the achievements that they've had, and not talk about Luka Modric. I feel
Yeah.
like
He's been there
Modric was so instrumental
to everything they
to
achieved.
almost everything they've achieved in the last, would I say, 10
And
years.
to think about it, he came from Spurs.
It's crazy.
I remember, the funny thing, he was in Tottenham Hotspur, and Abramovich
Mhm.
loved him. Abramovich wanted to pay like maybe 35 million for him, and he submitted the transfer request. I want to leave. And what's his name? Forgotten the Tottenham chairman now.
Mhm.
Back and forth, and they said, okay, we'll allow you go. Just wait till the end of the transfer market, and suddenly say you never go to Chelsea. And oh my god. And that's when that hits. We used to sell players to each other. But you see
Mhm.
now, since that Luka Modric situation where he just refused to sell Luka Modric to us, he say
To
he
Chelsea.
yes, he rather he's not selling him, and the guy was so upset and sad. Next year, he did the same thing. Then the other year, I think he now decided to sell him to Real Madrid,
Mhm.
right? And since then, he's
I
been
mean,
there.
but the conversation. Let's forget the conversation about Chelsea and Spurs and their drama. Let's talk about Luka Modric's impact
Yeah,
at Real Madrid, right? And some online people have said Luka Modric is one of the greatest midfielders of all time. We were on a stream where we talked
yeah.
about De Bruyne, and we said De Bruyne has to be one of the greatest midfielders in the
Do you want
Prem.
to compare his
But if
stats?
you want to compare De Bruyne and Luka Modric, I think
Yeah.
it goes beyond stats because I feel like stats can be very limiting. But
Let
to be
me
fair,
let me let me tell you how much he's won. So you tell me. Luka Modric has won 6 Champions League. Six.
mhm,
Six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 La Ligas. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 La Ligas. Copa del Rey 2. Club
mhm,
World Cup 6. European Super Cup 5.
mhm,
Spanish Super Cup 5.
mhm.
Is that not crazy?
But you're looking at Luka Modric at Real Madrid. The team also had an
That's
impact.
a total of how many trophies? I'm
The
looking at
team also
12,
had an impact, right?
20, 30 trophies. 30 trophies.
Yeah, yes, he has completed football. He has won almost everything, maybe apart from the World Cup. But that's like Luka Modric at Real Madrid. Real Madrid, they are a strong team. Obviously, they are always favored to win Champions League, favored to win anything. But we're talking about like midfielder,
Yeah,
Modric by himself, his own
yeah,
stats. If you
yeah.
compare that with De Bruyne, well, it still doesn't really beat that stat, right? So we can't really say Modric is the best, is the greatest midfielder of all time.
But you didn't
But
tell us his stats, right?
okay, let's
Tell
look at
us
the
his
stats.
stats. How many goals
Let's
and assists?
let's look at the stats. So
De Bruyne will still be better.
career stats. Well,
Mm.
we don't know. Career stats, he
We
has had,
never checked Messi's zone.
we never did, but
The
we kind of
goats.
know
The goats.
Messi is a good. But we can look into Messi soon. But
Mm.
career stats,
Yeah.
he has been in okay, let's look at overall games he has played. So
Mm-hmm.
overall stats, he has had
Yeah.
116 assists and
116.
74 goals.
Ah, that's low.
And he has appeared in 804
Nah, it's very
games.
poor.
So this,
Yeah.
this 804 includes World Cup, all
Poor.
competitions,
It's
Premier
poor.
League,
20. There's a
Champions League.
24% chance.
So you
It's
cannot
poor.
really say that he's the
Yeah.
greatest midfielder of all
All
time,
time.
but you
Nah.
can say he's one of the best midfielders
Yeah.
that have, come across Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I feel like, and him retiring or leaving, I don't know if he's going to retire this summer or if he's going to go to another club. But him playing his last game at the Bernabeu, I think it's going to be an emotional day. It's one that will be filled with so much, like, I don't know. It's going to be heavy. It's going to be one that'll be like, yeah, you have done everything.
He's
You've
won
kind of like
everything.
won everything. You're a
Mm.
legend of the game.
Yeah.
You're a legend at Real Madrid.
Mm.
You've you've gone above and beyond for the team, and if you look at his longevity too at the club, is
How
like
old is he? He'll be like almost 40 or
almost like
39.
39, right? Almost like 39. And his longevity at the club too,
So
and
he joined like 26.
him also like leaving almost feels like an end of an era, right? It's an end of an era for him to leave, because it was almost like in that era of like it was in that era of them, the Casemiro, Cruz. You get what I'm saying? Like all those people have gone. Casemiro is gone. Cruz is gone. Cruz has retired. Casemiro is in Manchester United. We don't know when he's going to retire. But Modric leaving too is like that's the end of that trio as Real Madrid.
Yeah.
So it's quite impressive.
They
What are
have
your thoughts on
yeah.
Modric?
um Hi Dorcas. Modric. I really Modric. I would say Modric is one of those players that I wish played for Chelsea because he's so good.
Mm-hmm.
He's so good. His long passing is so good. There are very few players that know how to give you very long balls, like
Mm-hmm.
crossfield switching, all this kind of like switching the play
Yeah.
long. He's so good at it. Playmaking, he's tiny with a tiny stature, but he grabs hold of the ball. He knows how to protect the ball,
Mm-hmm.
right? Harry Redknapp said something about him. He said, I listened to an interview. He said, I remember when he was losing, he was losing games when he was in Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
And he told his assistant, what can we do differently? And
Mm-hmm.
he was like, okay, whatever, I don't care now. Trying this new guy. And the assistant coach is like, are you putting Luka Modric in the middle? He said, yes, I'm putting him in the middle. He said, he's not strong enough. He's so tiny. He's so this, like, bro, the ones we've tried have not worked. We've lost so many games. I've been losing games. I'm not
Yeah.
going to put him there and see what happens. We're
Mm-hmm.
losing anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And he puts him in the middle. And him and his assistant are like, this boy is so tiny and it doesn't look like he has any energy in him or strength. But you can't just collect the ball from him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he keeps turning around, comfortable. And initially, I read him said something, say for the first maybe 50 minutes, his teammates didn't want to pass to him
Mm-hmm.
because they were a bit scared that he would
You'll be
lose the ball.
concerned that yeah.
Yes, he would lose the ball. But when the one pass got to him, he protected the ball and moved it around. And he said, wow, gave one crazy pass. Someone else, and he scored in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Gave a belter in that game and scored. They won the next game. All the balls were coming to Luka. The assistant asked him, are we putting Luka Modric in the middle again? He said,
Mm-hmm.
yes. He said, but it was just an experiment. He said, no, it's not an experiment. He's going to stay in the middle. Kept him again in the middle. What happened? All the balls started going through Luka Modric,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's how his career started. He said from that moment on, every game I started Luka Modric, we won those games or we got positive results out of it. He said there was
Mm-hmm.
hardly a game I started him during the period that we didn't get, even if we didn't get a result, right? Maybe to just be a tiny margin.
Mm-hmm.
That was Harry Redknapp.
Wow.
That was a
Fantastic.
comment from Harry Redknapp,
Fantastic.
right? So
Fantastic.
he's just so good. Players are different.
Mm-hmm.
If you bring up De Bruyne, the way De Bruyne plays, De
Mm-hmm.
Bruyne also has vision, but De Bruyne is a bit different. De Bruyne is a bit bigger. De Bruyne more wants to get in the box more and score.
Mm-hmm.
You get, but Luka Modric's job is just take the play, right?
Control the
Like,
midfield.
yes,
And that was
start, like, how do I say it now? Start the
mm-hmm.
chance creation. They're
Yes.
trying to create a chance. It's always starting with Luka Modric,
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Or like De Bruyne, where obviously some dirty work is done in the midfield. It gets to him. He's the marshal of that front.
I
He's
feel
one
like
of
those two. I feel like those two players have like a different profile, the different profile of
yes,
midfielders, and
yes.
that's why
One
it's
is
so
one
difficult
is
to.
an attacking. Sorry to cut you short. One
Yeah.
is more of an attacking midfielder
Yes.
or a 10, and one is
Yes.
a deep line playmaker.
Yes.
Right? You talk
Yeah.
about Pilo,
Mm-hmm.
Jorginho. Those
Yeah.
are deep line playmakers that will sit back and
Yes.
just dictate what happens.
Almost like they are quite defensive, but
Yes.
they are defensive,
No.
but they are also playmaking. It's like
Yes.
they can
They are
still break up
Yeah.
the play. It's almost
Yeah.
like if I'm thinking of Modric, I'm thinking of it's not like for like, but I'm almost one player that comes to my mind is almost like Rodri. It's almost like Rodri is more defensive than Modric. Modric is a little bit more attacking than Rodri,
Yeah.
but it's like Modric is that person that you want to pair him alongside somebody that is quite attacking, right? Or somebody that is
Exactly.
quite
Yeah.
defensive. And then he's the one that he can do anything. I I personally feel like Modric, to me, Luka Modric is a pure box to box.
Yes.
That's what
Yes.
I feel. He's
Yeah.
a pure box to box because yes, when he goes forward, he
Mm.
can find that pass that will lead to the goal. And if you look at his stats,
Yeah.
right, it's quite. You've not noticed one thing with stats. He has more assists than goals because
Oh.
his goal,
Yes.
the
Yes.
goal of Modric on a team is not for
Yeah.
him to score. His
No.
goal is for him to find the pass or start the pass that might lead
Yes.
to the
Get the
chance.
team forward.
He's
That's his own. Get
essential
the
to
team
the
forward.
exactly. He's essential to the build-up play. So you cannot really compare him and De Bruyne like for
Yeah.
like because it
No.
actually will not be a fair comparison if you
No. No.
compare him
It's
and De
not.
Bruyne.
No.
I
No.
think to me, Modric has to be one of the best deep line playmakers in the world, if not the greatest deep line playmakers in the world. Right?
He is a. You have to now throw Sex Fabregas in that.
Fabregas,
Check how
exactly.
many assists
Okay,
Fabregas has.
let's compare him and
Yeah.
Fabregas.
Fabregas is another, and
Let's compare him and Fabregas.
Fabregas as a manager, Fabregas is an intelligent player, right? And as a manager, is the same thing. They just understand the game,
Yes.
right?
Yes. So if we compare Cesc Fabregas's let's look at his career. Cesc Fabregas his entire career. Yes, he had more assists than well, he's a
How many assists?
yeah. In his whole career, he had 156 assists
That's
and
a lot.
he scored 101 goals. And
Fabregas scored goals, oh.
he had his appearances, listen, 571 appearances.
That's not
So
bad. How many
Fabregas
goals?
is
How many goals?
101, 101 goals,
How many assists?
156 assists.
Ah, how many did De Bruyne? De Bruyne had like 200 and something assists.
De Bruyne has like 286 assists.
How many appearances for Fabregas? 570 something.
571. 571. So like
5%.
so yeah,
But
yes.
as a deep line playmaker, this is
Mm-hmm.
incredible.
It's very incredible.
It's incredible because you see
Very incredible.
some of the assists when you had Fabregas in you had Fabregas in Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the assists were from deep in the midfield, right?
Yes.
From deep in the midfield, he finds someone.
Chevy, what's up, bro? How you doing, my G?
Chevy,
We didn't try him. La 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 la.
You missed yesterday's
You
stream.
know, oh man, Chevy, you missed yesterday. We're trolling United
Trolling Manchester
fans.
United.
We're trolling you guys. But what's up now?
Ah.
Come back.
No. We're discussing
Come
Luka
back.
Modric
Where you
today.
going? Come back. Don't escape. Man, you
We're
fans are pissed.
discussing Luka Modric.
Man, you fans are pissed all around the world, but don't worry, we've moved on from you guys. We know you guys, yeah, you guys are a banter club, so we moved on from you. But yeah, going back to like the conversation, right? Like, yeah, I guess comparing Fabregas and Modric stat wise, of course, like Fabregas beats Modric stat wise, but then it's almost like I don't know. That still doesn't rule out the fact that he's one of the best. He's one of the greatest.
He's simply one of he's one of the best.
He might
Right?
not be the greatest, but he's just
He's
He's
good.
so impressive. Would you
Yeah, he's
compare?
good.
Would you compare? Okay, anyways, it's not because Modric is so versatile too in the midfield, where like he could be an attacking midfielder, he could
Yeah,
be he
yeah,
could be a
exactly.
CDM, he could be a
Yeah,
defensive midfielder.
yeah.
He can do what Busquets is doing. He can
Can
score
play as a
goals.
10 too.
He can play as a 10. He can score goals. So it's like his versatility, his longevity, his clinical ability, his passing
Yeah.
accuracy, his vision. I feel like it's just crazy.
Fabregas, Chevy is saying Fabregas and Modric. How? Fabregas with
What do you
Modric.
mean? What do you mean? How?
No, what we are saying is we're talking about Luka Modric's career, right? But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, we're now talking of deep line playmakers,
Yes.
right? So we're bringing up Cesc Fabregas because Cesc Fabregas too was good,
Mm-hmm.
right? We're just trying to compare their stats.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think it was 2 days ago we compared De Bruyne's stats, right? And we found out that De Bruyne had like a 65% chance. Yeah, they are
Yeah.
not. So who is better? Who is better?
Wait, I think I might have been looking at the wrong sets Fabregas. Wait, hope I'm looking at the right sets Fabregas. Where
Is the right side.
how old is Fabregas right now? How old is he right now?
No, Fabregas is a manager now. He's like 42 or so.
I might have been looking at the wrong sets Fabregas.
Sex Fabregas.
Oh, okay. I was looking at the wrong person.
I-
Sets Fabregas. Let me look at the stats.
Anyways, he's a legend, right? So
Mm-hmm.
Chevy is saying, what do you mean? Who is better? No, we're just comparing deep line playmakers.
Oh, actually, I was looking at the wrong stats of Cesc Fabregas.
What stats?
I was
So
looking
what
at the
does
wrong stats. Wow. Let me not tell you the real stats. So Fabregas has 216 assists.
I told you?
200
216.
two
Yeah.
hundred and sixteen
What of
assists.
goals?
He has 125 goals and appearances. He has 739 appearances. So that was the
So
wrong stat.
yeah, it's almost the same. 46% chance.
Yeah, but that was the wrong stat.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
said, what do you mean who is better? We're not comparing, we're not saying who is better. We're just comparing them like for like their stats, right? Because people online are saying Luka Modric is the greatest midfielder of all time. I
Yeah.
don't think Luka Modric is the greatest midfielder of all time. I think he's one of the greatest midfielders of all time. And I
Yeah.
feel like if you compare stats, I feel the stats of Modric is not, it doesn't even shed, like, it doesn't give a lot
He
of
doesn't share
information
what
on how
he
great
does
of
in
a
the
player
midfield,
he is.
right?
Yeah, he doesn't give
So
enough information on how great of a player he is. He's a very versatile midfielder. He can play as a 10, he can play, he can
exactly,
play
yeah.
in an attacking role as a midfielder. He can also play in a CDM type of role as a midfielder. I think he's very impressive, and he's leaving top three best midfielder. So who rank the top three? Who is number one? Who is number two? Who is number three? Who is number one? Who is number two? Who is number three? Best midfielders of this era.
So in the last decade, maybe last 10 years is what
Of
Chevy
this
is
era,
talking about.
in the last, yes, even you, and in the last 10 years, who are your top three midfielders?
Uh I would say my top would have to be De Bruyne, then maybe Modric.
Are you? But Messi is a midfielder. You're not putting Messi as number one.
Messi is not a midfielder. I don't see Messi as a midfielder. It's
What do
not.
you see Messi as?
Messi. How would I? Messi is he a midfielder? Messi was no. Messi started as a winger. He went to played as a 10. Messi was a midfielder when he started, but he moved up front, right? To play
Mm-hmm.
as an attacker.
So
So
you don't really consider him a.
let's not put Messi in the conversation. That will not be fair on other people. Apart from Messi and Ronaldo, let's
Well,
assume
it knows that yeah,
they are
just remove them. They're in their
president.
own lane. Yeah,
So I'll
I
say
actually went to look
uh,
at Messi stats. Do you really want to know Messi stats?
it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's hear
Oh
it.
my days. Messi has 299 assists.
That's
600
really low.
wait. 699 goals.
Ah,
Wait, I'm not even finished. In 821 appearances. Bro.
In 800 and what?
821 appearances.
Damn. Kingsley, there's 121% chance that Messi has an assist or goal
In
in a
that
game.
game.
That's
In
if he
professional
appears.
in professional football, which means like he's going
That's he's
against
going to almost two. So it's either he scores and he assists or he does two. Any of them, right?
in a professional football game. There's
Yeah.
a high chance that Messi will either score or be
Or
involved in the
assist.
goal.
Yeah.
Oh my days.
That's crazy.
Anyway,
Anyways,
this is not a
let,
comment. Let's just remove Messi from that comment because
yeah, let's go to transfers.
let's go to transfers. Okay, let's talk about transfers. Let's talk about Enzo to Real Madrid. You guys
Yeah,
said you're not going to sell. You guys said you're not going to sell Enzo. So
I heard
it's
this
almost
rumor
like,
yesterday. I'm like, Enzo to Real Madrid. Does Real Madrid know how much we bought him? We bought him 121 million euros.
but he's suitable for Real Madrid though.
You
Oh,
see, that's why he has a contract till 2032. We're not bothered, Kingsley. How many years is that left? That's
2032.
7 years. So
Wow.
Chelsea has said they are not even entertaining any form of discussion.
For Enzo Fernandez.
They are not. It's not a case of, oh, we want to sell or we are not entertaining,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if somebody bought something for 121 million, he spent maybe 1.5 years or 2.5 years with us, or
Yeah.
let's say 2.5 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much is Real Madrid going to cough up for him? At least 150 million.
It's a lot of money for sure.
Yeah,
It's a lot of money to sign
but he's
Enzo.
getting really good. Enzo is getting really good.
But you guys said it right. You guys said Enzo, Caicedo, and Palmer. You guys consider that an elite midfield. So you guys do not have any plans to
And
sell
Lavia,
Enzo. But I mean, Lavia was not in that conversation when you guys said it. It was
before.
more.
Yeah.
It was more. With what I'm reading here, it was more
The three of them,
Enzo Caicedo, Palmer. The Blues
mm,
see Enzo Caicedo Palmer as an
they
elite
can't
midfield
they
and
can't
have
sell
no intention
intention
to
of
let
selling any of them.
Fernandez leave. Well,
Yeah.
Fernandez, I mean, when Real Madrid calls,
When Real Madrid calls, that's okay. They should bring 180 million euros. And they are
180 for him,
yes,
he's not worth 180 million.
yeah, exactly. Then they should forget about it.
You guys have started again. You guys have started again.
No,
Seriously,
Kinsey,
you
we
guys have
bought him
started again.
120. Chevy, if Chevy is still on this life, I don't know if he can give us some input.
You guys have
We
started
bought
again.
him 121 million. How much should we sell him for?
Number one, I don't even think Enzo should have been bought for 121 million.
Yeah, but
But that's a
how
separate
many?
conversation.
Okay, it's
I
just
don't
like
think
you are
right now Enzo doesn't go for 121 million.
okay, but right now we are talking about Luka Modric being one of the last people of his time that does something.
Yeah.
Enzo Fernandez is in that mode. Then Luka Modric, Fabregas, he's as good as that. Right?
Well,
I've seen him this season.
getting to that level. Okay.
Yes, this season.
Mm-hmm.
We are seeing the reason why they paid. We overpaid. We're not, Chevy. I'm not saying we.
I know, right? You guys overpaid for him,
I'm not
and now
saying
you
we
guys are
overpaid,
saying someone should bring 180 for him.
yes, but
Makes
at
no
the same time,
sense.
you can see in this current market, Enzo Fernandez is worth at least 80 something million.
He's not exactly. I agree with Chevy.
Yeah.
He's not yet as good as that. He's not yet
No,
as good as
he's
the people you're
good.
calling. He's not
No.
on that level. He's not
He's
the
not as
level
good. He's
of
not as good
Fabregas
as
and
Luka
Modric.
Modric, but he's getting to that level.
Yeah, but he's not even there. And right now, if Madrid is coming to sign Enzo, they're not signing Enzo for what do you call it, for 180
Yeah, but we
million.
can't sell him for more
Enzo
than
doesn't even
less than.
Enzo right now doesn't even go for 100 million.
Okay.
Right now.
So
Because you guys
that's why we're not ready to entertain any discussion, because we bought him like Chevy is right. This is his first good season.
Yeah.
He came half season, right? He came half season when things were terrible and everything. He had one full season with Pochettino, who was using him wrongly, right? So this is his first main season, right?
I
When
know,
we're
right?
really seeing.
He's not even on Rodri or Rice's level. I don't even understand this your overhyping of Enzo.
Anyways, okay, then Real Madrid should go for Rodri or Rice. Yes, it should go for Rodri or Rice. Why are they coming for Enzo
They're looking at
Fernandez?
age, right? I think age will play a factor because how old is Enzo?
Yeah,
They're looking
I
at
think he's
age.
23 years old, right?
So age is playing a factor because if you're going to sign a player right now, most clubs want to go for younger so you can stay longer. So you can get the most out of the player.
As
Longevity.
Chelsea is, I don't think they will sell him for less than 121 million. they are not ready to take a loss on him. Not ready,
I don't know, man. I just feel like,
right? So
yeah,
that's
I don't know. This whole Enzo to Real Madrid, but moving on from that conversation, what other transfer
the
news?
lap.
The lap to Chelsea or Man U?
The two clubs
I
had
thought
discussions
Man
with
U,
him.
Cunha to Man U is a done deal, right?
It's a done deal. Yeah,
So
Chevy, can you confirm that, Man U fans?
why would they want to go for the lap?
He said Man U and Chelsea have held talks with 30 million forward over a summer move, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what he's saying here, right? The lap. There's even interest from Bundesliga too. But question is, the lap really that good? Is the lap really that good?
To be honest, like I've not seen enough of the lap for me to even say it's
I've
that good.
watched. Okay, anyways, the
I've not
matches
seen
this
enough
week
of the
played
lap.
with me. I watched the one where Newcastle Ipswich. I watched Ipswich Wolves.
I'm not
Ah,
involved in anything concerning.
ah, ah! Oh my God! It's exactly what Dad said yesterday. The Man
Oh
City
my
and City Club.
god!
Oh
Wow!
my God! Calm down, Chelsea. Just
Wow!
calm down. I think we can buy Kingsley.
The loyal
Kingsley.
core. Wow!
You can maybe you can buy
I'm not that bad, though. I'm not that bad as a soccer player. You know, I'm
you
not
know
that
Kingsley, you
bad.
know one thing I'm thinking. You'll be
Mhm.
better than their striker Rasmus Højlund.
100%. At least I find a goal. At least I'd have scored in Europa.
Jamie said he's tired. I'm tired twice. I'm
He said,
tired.
I'm
I'm
tired. I've
tired.
tried. He said,
Ah,
I've tried.
okay,
I'm
I've
tired. I've
tried.
tried.
Okay. As I say, I'm
Yeah,
tired. I've
he said,
tried.
I've tried. Yeah, I understand, man. The feeling, man. The feeling of, man.
Anyways,
ACL Kingsley, I know, right? ACL Kingsley is even better than Hoyland. ACL Kingsley, I'm telling you, bro. But damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. Man, you fans, you guys have to stand behind your club. Although you guys
that's
have
it.
had a terrible season, but you have to back your club, man. That's the club you should
When
support.
we finished 12, we didn't really complain, right?
Man, but 12 is better than 16. I don't know. I
So
don't know if you
Matthias Cunha to Man U. Deal off. I'm seeing deal off. My God. Matthias Cunha to Man U, deal off with question mark 62 million pounds.
like
Is he what
they
is he
want
worth it?
Wolves want 62 million pounds.
Hmm.
What do you mean by United is not Chelsea?
Don't mind him. Let's not start bantering ourselves now. Obviously, you
Is
guys
it right? Is
are
it trying to say
you,
United is a bigger club than Chelsea?
that's what they will say. Man U is a bigger, they are a bigger club. Okay, we agree. That's fine. 62, well, they are a bigger club, but we are spending bigger money. But it's fine.
Fair.
62 million pounds.
Mm-hmm.
That's too much for Cunha.
You think that's too much for Cunha?
That's
62
too
million
much.
pounds?
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yes,
I know, I
that's
know, I know. You
true.
said
That's
that. You
true.
said that.
You
You said
see,
that.
you guys are
You
the
said
ones that
that.
said you should buy from
You
EPL.
said,
Now the price is shocking you. Yeah, I'm shocked actually. Like Premier League players are too expensive.
oh,
Oh
they're
my
just
God,
overpriced and overhyped.
they're overpriced. My
Overpriced and
God.
overhyped. I think so.
No, for 62 million is not worth it.
You don't think so?
You see, these Wolves, I find them strange. You know, they sold them. What's the name to Manchester City? The
Who was
person
that?
that's the left back now for Manchester, right back for Manchester City, Nunes.
Mateus, yeah. Nunes, yeah.
I've forgotten how much, but it was expensive too. I think Manchester City were complaining at that time.
But Wolves players, though, like if you look at the players you've signed from Wolves, let's
They
say
are good. They are good.
we
Jota,
Jota,
yeah,
Mateus Nunes, Pedro Neto.
Pedro Neto. They are not bad.
Yeah, actually not bad.
Yeah,
Actually not
they're
bad.
not bad.
And then
And
now Cunha.
Cunha,
But
yeah.
Cunha, is he really worth 60 something million? I don't think
Nah,
Cunha is worth that
it's
money.
not. It's not. It's
I don't
not.
think he's worth that money. But I don't know. Have we seen enough from Cunha to kind of like see how much he's worth though? Because I feel like to me, I feel like Cunha really
Mm.
started just He said I started hearing more about him this season. Unless maybe I'm just not as active in terms of Cunha's
No,
performance.
Cunha did well last season. He was doing things last
You know
season.
what? The best way to do this is to check Cunha's stats.
Check, yeah, he was doing things last season. He was last season he was playing more like a 10. Now he's even a 10. Still a 10, right?
I don't know. I don't think Cunha is worth that price.
Nah,
For,
nah.
for
Maybe
what of
maybe
the players? Is he a
40.
striker? Is a forward? Is a
He's
centre forward? Okay. For a centre forward, he scored last season. He scored 14 goals and had
mm,
8 assists. This season, he had 6 assists and 17 goals. Right. Anyways, in 35 games is quite impressive because he has only played 35. He has only had 35 appearances.
no, but it's still
That's
not
still
enough. Yeah, it's not
35
enough.
appearances is not too bad, right? 35 appearances is not too bad. Like in 35 games, he has 17 goals, 6 assists. That's still not bad. Maybe if he's in more competitions, you score more goals. But this season, in terms of
Probably.
this season and last season is almost the same. I
Mm,
actually don't see any difference. I feel like Cunha is probably 40 million or 35 million center
mm.
forward, in my own opinion. Like if you place Cunha in front of
For
me,
maybe 40 million, yes.
if you place Cunha in front of me, place
Yeah.
Ivan Toney in front of me, I'll probably pick Ivan Toney over Cunha because Ivan Toney, at least I know Ivan Toney will give me goals. Unless people are looking at the age of Cunha. How
Of
old is he? How old is Cunha?
but you see, God, I wish Ivan Tony went
Cunha
to
is also 20. Is 25 years old. So it's
he's
like
young. He's young. I think it's the age they are buying. He's not a nine. That's what I'm saying. Cunha is not a nine.
what is he?
He's played as a 10 under Gary O'Neill, and the previous manager was a 10 behind the striker. Right?
Then he was doing well then.
Right?
Behind the striker and
Yeah.
scored that many goals. At least
Yeah. He's
he's
a 10.
definitely is better than Hoylund for sure. But imagine like Cunha, wow, Cunha and then Bruno Fernandes at the
At the
back of
back.
Cunha. It would be quite
That's if
impressive.
Amorim will use him like that. You saw the how he set them up in the Europa Cup. It's very stupid man. I kept Bruno inside
I feel like you should
beside
have put
them.
Bruno.
Put him up front. That's where he can score.
This Amorim's 3-4-3 is just
Let's
nothing
not
to
talk
write home
about
about.
Amorim now. Please, please. Don't spoil the mood. Don't spoil the mood, please.
Before
Which
Chevy
other
leaves again, it's not talk
which
about
other
Man
which
U.
other transfers?
Uh, so there were talks of Ateta sending a message about Rodrigo. You know, Rodrigo links with Arsenal. And Ateta saying, Rodrigo, everybody believes we are an elite team in the UK and Europe. Arsenal is here or Arsenal is there.
When did he
So
say it?
this is reports by I'm seeing this on like Fabrizio's page.
Yeah.
So these reports that he said I wouldn't name any specific player, but we've brought the club into a position that next season you have to win a major trophy. Everybody believes that we're an elite team in the country and in Europe. Arsenal is there, that's clear. And we have to add goals and creativity, we have to add
Yeah,
numbers,
good night.
and there'll be different positions
Hmm.
for us, right? So Rodrigo to Arsenal. Crazy?
That's not a bad signing
I
to
don't think
play
it
up
makes
front.
sense.
Eh? You
I don't
said?
think it makes sense.
Why?
Rodrigo has what?
He can play
As a
as a
nine.
nine. Yes.
So
He pro-
Okay, Saka,
he will play
Rodrigo,
as a nine
Martinelli,
because he can fit that role at Teta once where he doesn't want a traditional nine, right? And he can
mm,
drift to play out wide,
and then
right?
him and Saka can be swapping.
Yes, yeah,
Saka in the middle, Rodrigo on the
and if you
wing,
don't want to start him,
Martinelli in the middle,
you can
Rodrigo on the
you
wing.
can you can play him even on the left.
You can actually even play. Yeah, you can actually play him on the
You
left,
can play him here
Or even play
and
Saka on the left,
Saka on
play
this side
Rodrigo
on the
there,
right,
and then
right?
play Trossard in the middle. Trossard has played as a nine before, right?
Yeah.
Trossard can play that false nine position. So
So yeah.
yeah, well,
Anyways, what are your final thoughts? Which other transfers are you seeing?
I think those are the major transfers. Apart from like Enzo Fernandez deal, I know that's not going to happen.
Mm,
I don't know if Ganacho will leave in the summer, but
mm,
that's still up in the air. Rodrigo, I don't know what Rodrigo's plans will be. If Rodrigo also has plans to leave in the summer, that's
mm,
still pretty much kind of like up in the air. Postecoglou, people have been talking about Postecoglou's plans. Now that Postecoglou has won the Europa, it's almost
mm.
like would he
What
stay?
next?
Would he stay for Super Cup? Super Cup is still there, right?
Oh yes, he has to play Super
He
Cup.
has to play
He could
Super
win
Cup.
another trophy. Oh.
Of course. Of
Wow.
course. Depending on who wins
When do they play
between
Super Cup?
Super Cup is Champions League winner and Europa League winner, right?
Yes, yeah. When do they
Who
play
is
that one?
who wins between PSG and
I
Inter
think it's
Milan?
mid season. Or when do they play
I'm
it?
not sure when they'll play
I
the
think
next
it's
Super
mid
Cup.
season.
But
Yeah.
then, well, Tottenham could win another trophy. That's by the way. But the major conversation is, would Postecoglou stay? Or would he just be like, yeah, I win trophies in my second season. I did
Bye.
that. I give you a
Bye.
trophy. I'm leaving. Good night. I kind of
Some
feel it's not bad. Drop the mic and just dip. Because
just
after all the what the media has
but
done,
Spurs will regret it if they
they've
do
made
if
him
he
they've
does
made
that.
him look like a fool.
Yeah.
They've made him look like he didn't, he doesn't know what he's doing, but he still won the trophy that people did not believe he was going to win. So I guess, well, the transfer news is kind of dry. Apart
Yeah.
from Luis Diaz, I know there was talks of Luis Diaz to Barcelona. I don't know how true that is. There were talks of Nunez to go to Atletico Madrid. I don't know if that will happen, or if Nunez will eventually go to Saudi. But
No,
those conversations
it's
have
not.
also been there.
Yeah.
So I guess that's it. My final thoughts. I think going back to how we started this conversation, Luka Modric, people might not tip him to be the greatest midfielder of all time, but like Chevy said before he left the stream, he definitely is top three.
Top three in the world.
He's definitely top
Top
three
three.
in
Yeah.
this era of football. He's definitely top
Yeah.
three, one of the
Yeah.
greatest midfielders that we've seen. I think stats do not do justice to Luka Modric's performance on the pitch because he's such a versatile midfielder.
He
He,
starts. Yeah.
he can
Yeah.
fit into any role. He can do anything. He can attack, he can defend, he can score, and he
Yeah.
can assist.
Yeah.
And
Anything.
he was very pivotal in the era of Madrid's dominance in Europe. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
Madrid is not still dominating, but that Madrid dominance of Champions League and that era of Madrid, and I'm going to call out the team, the Madrid team that had Cruz, Casemiro, the Madrid team that had Sergio Ramos,
Ronaldo was
that
there
had
that time, right?
Ronaldo,
Yeah.
that had Benzema, that had
Benzema.
Dani Carvajal, that had Marcelo.
Damn.
He played a pivotal role.
Was there when Marcelo was there?
He was there when Marcelo was there. He played a
Yeah.
pivotal role in that team.
Do you know the thing? Okay, continue.
And
Yeah.
like, to wrap up my final thoughts, I'll say to me, he's one of Real Madrid's greats, and
Yeah.
he's someone that really helped them achieve a lot in their dominance, in that era and dominance in Europe. And looking at transfers, Enzo to Real Madrid, and how Real Madrid is swing, and Cunha, and all this conversation about transfers, I think I've been saying this in different streams. So many players are
Yeah.
overpriced and overhyped. And I
Yeah.
think teams and clubs now need to pay the right fee
Right
for these
price.
players.
Yeah. In
So
fact,
those are my final thoughts.
final thoughts for me. I think what I'll say about Modric is he crossed three eras.
Mm-hmm.
He crossed three eras. He crossed the era when football was football. When you want to play, you play.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get what you love the game. You live and die by the game.
Yeah.
He came in. It was in that era when, like, towards the end of that era, right? But it was in
Mm-hmm.
Tottenham. Then he moved to Real Madrid. Yo, Jordan. Then he came into the era we just passed,
Mm-hmm.
where the Eden Hazard era and things were happening, but not so much,
Mm-hmm.
right? We still had some passion. Then now he crossed over to this new era where football is all about people being overhyped and money and right. No
Yeah.
passion. You go for the bag first before you think of the game. You secure your future first. Secure your pockets before you think of the game, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, and for transfers, if you need a good player, you have to be ready to pay the money. So that's all I'll say.
Yeah. But great conversation. Anyways, Rafinha signed a new deal with
Yeah, yeah,
Barcelona, valid to June 2028. So that's also great news too as well.
yeah,
Rafinha is a solid player,
yeah,
and we look forward to more that Rafinha will contribute to the team. But thank you guys for joining the stream. Chevy, I know Chevy might be off the stream right now, but
yeah,
Chevy, Jordan, and Dorcas, thank you guys for joining the stream. Thank you guys for
yeah.
commenting. We are live every day, so we'll be back again tomorrow. And yeah, join our stream, comment, and we'll see you guys.
See you guys tomorrow.